Have you ever cracked open two eggs side by side and paused for a second because something looked different? One yolk glows a pale buttery yellow, while the other shines with a deep orange hue that almost looks painted. It's such a small detail, yet it can make you wonder if one egg is healthier, fresher, or somehow more natural than the other. The color feels like a clue, like it's trying to tell you something. But what exactly is it telling you? And does a darker yolk really mean a better egg? Today, we will crack open the science behind those golden shades and uncover what they truly reveal right here on History of Simple Things. To understand yolk color, we first need to understand what an egg actually is. An egg isn't just breakfast, it's a carefully designed biological package. The shell protects it. The egg white or albumin cushions and provides protein. And the yolk? That's the nutrient-rich center meant to feed a developing chick. It's loaded with fats, vitamins, minerals, and energy. Naturally, something so concentrated is bound to vary depending on what goes into it. The short answer to why egg yolks come in different colors is simple. It's all about the hen's diet. The pigments that color egg yolks come from compounds called carotenoids. These are natural plant pigments responsible for the reds, oranges, and yellows in many fruits and vegetables. If that word sounds familiar, it's because carotenoids are what make carrots orange and corn yellow. When hens eat foods rich in carotenoids, those pigments are absorbed into their bloodstream and deposited in the yolk. The more pigment in the diet, the deeper and more vibrant the yolk color becomes. If a hen eats a diet mostly made up of pale grains like wheat or barley, her yolks will likely be light yellow. If she eats plenty of corn, marigold petals, alfalfa, or leafy greens, the yolks can turn a much richer golden or orange shade. This is why eggs from different farms can look so different. In many commercial operations, hens are fed a carefully controlled diet. Often this includes yellow corn, which naturally boosts yolk color. Some feed blends even include natural additives, like marigold extract, specifically to deepen the hue. It's not artificial dye in the egg itself, it's pigment from plants passing through the hen system. Free-range hens, on the other hand, may have access to grass, weeds, seeds, and insects. That varied diet can increase carotenoid intake, which often leads to darker yolks. But here's something important. Free-range doesn't automatically guarantee a deep orange yolk. It still depends on what the hen actually eats. A hen with access to a yard won't produce a rich yolk if that yard has very little vegetation. Around the world, preferences for yolk color vary. In parts of Europe and Asia, deep orange yolks are often associated with freshness and higher quality. In Japan, for example, consumers frequently prefer richly colored yolks for dishes like tamago kake gohan, where raw egg is mixed into rice and the color is clearly visible. In contrast, in some Western countries, pale yellow yolks are perfectly normal and widely accepted. But what about nutrition? Does a darker yolk mean a healthier egg? This is where things get interesting. A darker yolk often does indicate higher levels of certain nutrients, particularly carotenoids like lutein and zeaxanthin. These antioxidants are known to support eye health and may help protect against age-related macular degeneration. If a hen consumes more carotenoid-rich plants, the egg can contain slightly higher levels of these compounds. However, the difference isn't always dramatic. Yolk color alone doesn't automatically determine the overall nutritional value of the egg. Protein content, total fat, and most vitamins remain fairly consistent regardless of color. A pale yellow yolk can still be just as nutritious as a deep orange one. Color tells you about pigment intake, not necessarily the entire health profile. Another common belief is that darker yolks mean the egg is fresher. That's actually a myth. Freshness has more to do with how recently the egg was laid and how it has been stored. A very fresh egg will have a firmer yolk that stands taller when cracked open, while an older egg will spread out more. But the color itself doesn't change significantly over time. It's also worth mentioning that eggshell color, white or brown, has nothing to do with yolk color. Shell color depends on the breed of the hen. For example, white leghorn hens lay white eggs, while Rhode Island Reds lay brown eggs. But inside, the yolk color still depends primarily on diet. A brown egg can have a pale yolk, and a white egg can have a deep orange one. Interestingly, in some cases, yolks can appear unusually pale or even slightly greenish. This can happen if hens consume certain feed types or if there are imbalances in nutrition. Extremely pale yolks might suggest a lack of carotenoid-rich ingredients. On the other hand, a greenish tint in cooked yolks, like the gray-green ring around a hard-boiled egg, isn't about diet at all. That ring forms when sulfur in the egg white reacts with iron in the yolk during overcooking. So why do we instinctively associate darker yolks with better quality? Psychology plays a big role. Humans tend to link deeper colors with richness and flavor. A bright orange yolk simply looks more vibrant and satisfying. In blind taste tests, though, the flavor difference between pale and dark yolks is often subtle. Texture and overall freshness can influence taste more than color alone. In the end, egg yolk color is like a tiny edible snapshot of a hen's recent meals. It's not a strict measure of quality, freshness, or safety. It's simply biology at work. Pigments moving from plants into hens, and finally into that bright golden center we see when we crack the shell. So, whether your breakfast yolk is pale lemon or deep amber, you can appreciate it for what it truly represents. Not a grade or a guarantee, but a glimpse into the life and diet of the hen that laid it. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.